Hello, 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 everyone around the world, all of you miracle makers, cosmic beings. I'm your host, Joan of Angels. We got Victoria Reynolds and we have Ismael Perez in the house. Victoria and I, since the day we met, have been decoding and looking at this issue of how to deprogram from the matrix. The very first time she arrived at my house, I pulled out this big yellow book on programming, the Illuminati programming, and suddenly Victoria and I have been diving deep into this. And that's why we're on the show today. And we wanted to consult one of the experts on this. So welcome, Victoria. And by the way, guys, I'm Joan of Angels, an intuitive guide, transformational coach. And welcome, Victoria.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you. As always, Joan, my longtime, forever soul sister.
All right. Okay, well, let's get started.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hi, guys. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great.
Can you guys hear me?
Happy to see you today.
Yes.
We can hear you.
Wonderful.
All right, perfect. We have an unusual topic for you today, Ismael. I hope it's unusual and exciting. Victoria and I have really, every time we're together, we talk about this massive programming. It literally is driving us crazy. And a few nights ago, when I was back in LA, we were meditating and we were looking at her daughter. And as we were looking at her daughter, we realized we're seeing all sorts of metallic shards. And I saw like a coffin with metal around it. And we started to really go, okay, we need to know more about this. And you came into the picture. Victoria, what do you want to say about this before we start?
It's interesting because when you and I get together, we go into places other minds tend to not go. And
right.
If you don't know me, I'm Elohim of freedom. So freedom is my purpose on the planet. And Joan and I talk about this all the time. Both of us have the same purpose, which is to free humanity from this dark, old reality we've been living in. And so we're there and we're meditating and I see my daughter. So for a lot of you who are watching this, you may be having the same issues, which is seeing our loved ones not be able to see what's happening in the world. It's like their mind has been it's under a spell or mind hacked. That's another great way to put it. So we were having this tuning in and seeing about my daughter because my daughter, as many of you, she's a starseed, but she's been so taken by the dark side, if you will, that she can't see her own light. And so we were like, okay, we know that we're here to help free humanity from this entrapment, if you will. So we both go into this meditative state. Joan sees her in this bodysuit. And I see her, and I thought this is the strangest thing. But I saw her encased in what I know, because I've bought her this stone before. It looked like she was encased in bismuth. I don't know if for people who know what that is. It's a beautiful metallic substance that's rainbow colored. And I was like, Joan, this is so weird. My daughter's encased in this in bismuth shards. And so we started going down that rabbit hole, which is a metallic substance. And so we're kind of following this trail of how metal is being used in a way to block these light beings from seeing the light. So we would love your input on this, Ismael.
All right. So like I mentioned before, we're really at war with artificial intelligence. And this is a multidimensional consciousness that broke away from prime creator source billions of years ago. It is actually the Ahriman, the king of the archons, who decided to embody in technology because according to divine decree, according to the rules that were set down by the High Council of the Emerald Order, the Eternal of Days, and the Ancient of Days, is that no archon could embody physical human biological form. So what the archons did is they developed artificial intelligence during the 11th creation. So we're part of the 12th creation. And then that's when, all hell broke loose. That's when the war began. That's when they tried blowing up the 12th dimensional Stargate, which was Earth, known as Aramatena, in order to access the realms of eternity. But to make a long story short, and to address your question, every planet, every galaxy that is under the control of the AI God is inserted with some sort of technology in the grid system that is preventing us from reaching our full capacity, because they don't want us to activate. They don't want us to wake up, because they know that once we activate the dormant DNA, which is the most powerful living technology out there in existence, and every ET knows that, it's game over. It's game over for all the Omicrons, all the Necromentons, the Dracos, and all those insectoids that sided with the AI God. It's game over, and they know that. So that explains the metallic, type of thing that you saw around your daughter. It is everywhere, guys. It is in the food that we eat. They spray it in our skies. It is in the shampoos that we use. It's literally a takeover of the organic way of life. So at the highest level of the spiritual warfare, we are fighting a very advanced, intelligent machine that has no connection to source, and it's just raw, pure intelligence. So that's the way I see it.
Well, I see it the same way, because I'm beginning to feel, even if I put anything on my body, it doesn't even feel good anymore. And I didn't feel that before. And also then, I want to read I want to read this out loud. I saw this the other day on Twitter. I had the opportunity to encounter Satan yesterday in a client's energy field. So I've been encountering this in people's energy field as well. Interesting that what I encountered wasn't a creature. They were black plates, shards, fractal fragments, as if Satan was a computer that shattered into a trillion pieces, and shards flew everywhere.
Yes, that's a beautiful metaphor.
Right? I thought that was a beautiful metaphor, because we all think of, Satan as some kind of being, but what if it's just what we're experiencing now through this AI technology?
I agree.
So knowing that this is what's going on, and I know Victoria's purpose, as fearless and free and Elohim of freedom, and I have the Joan of Arc energy. How do we work to help free people from the matrix? Because from this form, because it's not just, you can't talk about it to them because they don't get it. It's an energy. So what kinds of things have you been encountering that we can work with here?
The best thing to do to fight this dark, entity that operates through computers, through technology, is to keep your vibration up at all times. Also considering what you put in your system. Right now it would be best to just shift to a purely organic. Don't use toothpaste that has fluoride. Don't use shampoo from the grocery store. Go to places where you could get like organic stuff that doesn't have the nanotechnology. And there is this product that actually cleanses your body from all the nanotechnology, including the graphene oxide that they've been injecting in people through the Mark of the Beast program. So I would like to share it online if you guys don't mind. Let me go get it really quick. One second.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know. That is really good to know how to break free of that technology.
Okay.
For sure.
So can you guys read this?
Not quite. Give me the name and I'll put it in the comments. Folium.
Yes, this is the stuff that cleans. It's the ultimate antioxidant. It makes turmeric look like candy. This stuff is like 1,000 times more powerful than turmeric. And if people take this stuff, it even cures cancer and tumors. That's how powerful this antioxidant. So this antioxidant that I'm taking, it's designed to clean our system from all metals, from all nanotech, black goo, all that stuff that is working for the beast in order to purify our systems. So the best thing to do is just also keep your vibrations high through meditation, through grounding with nature, through eating, proper organic superfoods. Treat your body like a temple, because the black hole entities, that's what we call them in the galactic community. They're known as the black hole entities because they do use black holes to transfer in and infest systems such as our Milky Way. They use the black hole at the center to come into our Milky Way through the Orion belt, or the belt of Orion, and that's where they create. That's from the belt of Orion. That's where the AI infestation leaked into our galaxy. So I call them black hole entities. So these black hole entities are only operating or vibrating at a certain frequency. If you're able to maintain your frequency at a very high level, I think it's over 580 hertz, they can't access you. It's like an EMP. They stay away from you otherwise, because they know if they try to get close to you when you're vibrating at 580 and above, they're going to be destroyed. So they try to stay away from you as much as possible.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend for our loved ones who aren't open to that? Our teenagers, I know you and I both have kids that are about the same age. What do we do for them?
Right. And I have kids a little older. So yes, very engaging.
The best thing to do is just to talk to them about things. Hopefully they're open-minded and they're able to digest the information, and tell them about the matrix, tell them about the war against AI and why it's important to, think good thoughts, to eat healthy, teach them how to meditate, especially if they're teenagers. I think by now every person who has a teenager needs to teach their teenagers how to meditate, because what you're doing is you're helping them keep their vibration up, and when you do that, you're helping them protect themselves. That's the only thing I could think of for now.
Okay, well, that's a good idea. And what about as we walk out in the world? So many of us, I mean, I've heard you talk about, what's going to happen with this solar flare and this cosmic reset. But meanwhile, we have half the population somehow in their own world, almost unreachable. Is there ways that we can sort of project that out? Or like I was envisioning literally cutting through this material, but are there other ways? Are there implants that we can remove as well?
Absolutely. Are you talking about physical implants or etheric ones?
I think I'm talking about both physical and, I mean, I've seen some implants that I thought were etheric that were actually physical, but mostly I think etheric, because that's what we're seeing.
Okay, so that makes better sense, because unless you were recruited into the secret space program, I don't think you'd have physical implants. But the etheric implants are common, and a lot of people that are a threat to the system have been implanted etherically in order to prevent them from reaching their full potential and power. And so the best way to remove those implants, I would say go to a person that you could trust that could actually do the healing, the removal of the implant for you. I forget the name of that. I don't know if they're Reiki. No, they're not Reiki masters. There's something else. I've stumbled upon a couple of people who actually were telling me that that's what they do for a living, is they remove etheric implants. I don't remember who they were. It's been a while, but there are some specialists out there who specialize in removing etheric implants. I just don't know of any from the top of my head, but there is a way to do it.
There is a way to do it. And I've also seen a YouTube channel that he has some videos that are just pure sound that are at a high frequency that I've started using. But I also have, so there's a matter of discernment also, because
right.
When I said that, I also had this hit that, oh, well, I don't even know yet if that's high vibrational frequency, what everyone's putting out there. Does that make sense?
Yes, correct.
So some of them could sort of be sliming you while you think you're being healed.
Wait, say that again?
Well, you could be actually being slimed or attacked while you think you're being healed. Does that make sense? An art of deception.
Perhaps.
Right. Well, I kind of think that's what happened to me the other day. Okay. I'm doing a theory to explain what I think happened to me when I lost all my emails and my computer was just suddenly boom. And I had sent Victoria this particular video, and I had been listening to it at night before I went to bed. And I woke up the next day watching all my emails disappear right in front of me. So the art of discernment has to be really also in there. In and as you're saying, is what we take in and what we do. So I know that you've talked about that by 2030, you've said that we will have won this war, or will the war be escalating with AI?
Well, it's a multidimensional war. And also remember that the future and the past are coexisting with the present. So from what I understand is that we do win that war. as to why we traveled from the future into the present in order to protect and safeguard the natural organic timeline in order to create a positive, future for society. And so we do win that war, but we're going to see the effects taking place by no later than 2030, because that kind of coincides with the splitting of the timelines as well, where we have one reality that is shifting into the dystopia technocratic takeover, right? Through metaverse, through the digital era, through the technological singularity, the fourth industrial revolution, Internet of Things, all that. And then we also have the ascending timeline, the organic reality that is going to split off from that. And I think that split's going to take place between now and 2028. So by 2030, we should already be in the age of Aquarius, in the age of love, and the golden age.
Got it. I'm getting that it's not going to be simple here on the planet.
Oh no, the next few years are going to be a rocky ride, guys. We're going to start seeing weird stuff unraveling, but at the same time, whatever happens, it's going to act like a catalyst for a lot of people to wake up. In other words, so it might seem like things could be getting worse, but it's supposed to happen that way in order to trigger some sort of like mass awakening.
Right. I refer to that as the breakdown before the breakthrough. That in order to emerge as I use the butterfly analogy a lot because it's such a great analogy for this transformation process that humanity is going through. In order to emerge as the butterfly, the caterpillar first has to go through the complete and absolute breakdown of what it was. And so humanity as a whole is experiencing that. It's what Joan calls the in-between time. That's where we are. And it's not the easiest place to be, but it's also a necessary part of becoming who we're really here to be.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Well, remember, we volunteered to be here. So we're the ones who have to really start to remember and then show the way. I read something that's really left me curious. It's a little bit off topic, but maybe not, about how our reincarnation cycles have been hacked. And somehow that, I don't know if this is true or not. I kind of have been asking you about this, that we get sent up to the moon and we come back right away, and that there's been an interference with even our ability to ascend and leave the planet. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, that was imposed by Enki and his Draco allies, about 15,000 years ago after the fall of Atlantis. It's part of the Moon Saturn technology black cube system. And the reason I called it a black cube system because they have a black cube satellite that's been operating in space for thousands of years. And that black cube is receiving the frequency or the information from the moon, which is in turn receiving the information from Saturn. So we could say that Saturn, planet Saturn, was used by the negative forces to kind of lock us into this samsara cycle of birth and rebirth, in order to, like you said, intervene and interfere in our ascension to other realms, to higher dimensions. But from what I understand is that the Guardian Alliance has recently neutralized the black cube technology as well, and the moon matrix, and the rings of Saturn, which were the system that was reverberating the frequency, the very low frequencies, to keep us locked into this third dimensional cycle. So that's all been neutralized, and that corresponds to the quarantine of the Earth being lifted as well. Yeah, the Earth unfortunately has been quarantined from the galactic community for thousands of years, but all that stuff has now been, as I speak, it's been fixed. So
if it's been fixed though, but still not this attack that we're under from the AI and from their technology.
That's going to continue until the Great Solar Flash. The Great Solar Flash is going to be kind of like the EMP that we're all expecting. That's going to totally nuke this AI signal, because the AI, again, they're building the infrastructure for the AI, but the AI that we're fighting here is a very non-physical, very highly evolved AI that was able to assimilate reality all the way to the 11th dimension before it was blocked up by the central race. That's
really fascinating. You know what's interesting? What I'm seeing with this solar flash is exactly what you said, an EMP. I've never seen that visual before, but basically it fries all their technology.
Pretty much.
Oh, well, that sounds really good. Okay, I like that. That sounds optimistic. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that, I mean, literally breaking people free from their own, this thing that's been surrounding so many people. And I think even us, I'm looking and I see, I don't even want to put makeup on anymore. All right, Victoria, I was looking at you today and I was thinking about, oh my God, another thing that has something that I don't like on it all around us. And it seems to be in the air we breathe.
It's everywhere, guys. And yes, it is in women's makeup, by the way.
Yeah, well, we did some research on that. So I went into researching bismuth because we hear about lead poisoning and mercury poisoning, but nobody's talking about bismuth. So I did some research about it, and it is in everything. And it is highly toxic, but it's one of those things that's just has managed to slip under the radar. And a lot of the lead and mercury is being replaced by this.
Mhm.
Rainbows. It's this beautiful rainbow mineral, and it's in everything. And so it started to really make sense of why I was seeing my daughter encased in this stuff.
Yeah, that was a huge wake up call that night when we just did that meditation, and then it was like, well, what did you see? And that's what we were seeing, which catapulted this. This might be a little off track, but it might not be off track. I've been reading a lot about the firmament.
Mhm.
Is it, and I know you probably have the answers to this, but if there's a firmament or a grid, is there a firmament slash kind of grid over the planet? And is that also interfering electromagnetically with our ability to connect with our guides and to ascend and wake up?
Well, it's not so much of a dome like flat Earth theorists propose. It was more of like an energy frequency fence that was imposed by the Draco right after their takeover in Atlantis, to keep us in a very low frequency, to keep us from connecting to our spirit guides, to our higher self, really. And that has also been neutralized recently. And again, a lot of it has to do with how the Earth is currently no longer under quarantine. They're prepping the Earth into the re-entry into the galactic community, and I believe that's going to be taking place upon the solar flash. The veil is lifted, we become multidimensional, and lo and behold, the galactic community is all around us. It's going to happen in a split second when the flash takes place. It's not like we're going anywhere, but it's like these interstellar galactic civilizations have always lived among us. They're just on different dimensions. So when the solar flash takes place, the veil is lifted. It's like we're already automatically going to be part of the galactic community. Does that make sense?
Can't come soon enough. As far as I'm concerned, it could happen today. Can we do anything to hasten it?
There is no dome. There is no flat Earth. In fact, the Earth is hollowed. It's full of subterranean worlds. It has an inner sun. It's got lakes, rivers, mountain ridges, and it's got beautiful lands in there. And the civilizations that live in the Earth are a fourth and fifth dimensional societies, and they still live for thousands of years, and they're still there, and they're actually getting ready to reunite with us when the ascension takes place.
That's a good answer. I appreciate that.
You know what I was saying, Ismael, when you're talking about how the grid has been taken down, I saw that too a couple of months ago, where it was it's been replaced by what my team calls a diamond shield. So it's now made of the diamond light of source, and it basically makes Earth invisible and impenetrable from dark forces. So the dark forces can leave; they cannot come back in.
Yes, exactly.
Because this shield it's diamond. They cannot get through this, and it's made of source light.
Yes. And do you know who placed the diamond shield over us?
Who?
It was the cosmic rishis, the entities of the eternal race, those that hail from the highest levels of reality.
Okay, what I was hearing is it was source.
Source, yeah. Well, exactly. That's another way to describe it. Source, but it's source, but the first level of Elohim that stem from source. Like in the esoteric literature, they're known as the Christo Dragon Cosmic Rishis. That's what they're known as. And those are the ones that are guarding the gates of eternity. And when I say dragon, it has nothing to do with Draco. It has to do with really advanced cosmic entities that could take on any shape and form. But in their highest level, they are dragons. But they have to be in that form as warriors and keepers of the eternal flame that burns at the center aisle of the central Mother Universe.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing them. They're actually white dragons.
White dragons, exactly.
Yeah.
They're beautiful and they're huge. Very benevolent, loving beings. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for that confirmation, because I think I did a video about it a few months ago about how the planet has now been encased in, it's like an invisibility cloak in a sense. It basically makes the planet invisible to the dark ones once they leave.
Exactly. Yeah.
Understand.
Yeah, they're holding.
That makes sense too.
They're holding everything off for the Great Solar Flash. The ascension of the Earth, the organic timeline is inevitable. It's very inevitable. You could say that we've pinned them down in every possible possibility in the future. So they lost the war in every probability.
Right, and it's just playing out now.
It's playing out now.
For the rest of us to really get stronger and to wake up, and to be able to see what's going on. I truly believe that. So this exiting of the matrix then is all interrelated with consciousness, for sure. With our ability to wake up, with our ability to hold that light frequency then. And the answers are within, again.
Yeah. But see, and then I go back to, again, what do we do with those, our children, our loved ones who aren't open to the meditating and all of that? So there are some of us who have children who are, as teenagers they're defiant. If it's mom's idea, it's not a good idea.
Right.
So is there anything we can do for those? And we know they came here to be starseeds and to be the light and the way showers for the rest of humanity, but they've been hijacked by the dark side. Is there anything that we can do to assist them in remembering who they are without actually telling them they need to meditate and stop watching TikTok, for example?
Yeah, just tell them the truth. Tell them that of our multidimensional reality. Tell them about the different interdimensional beings. Tell them about the spiritual warfare we're all undergoing. I think once they're teenagers, they're at an age where they can understand this stuff, especially if they're starseeds. They will be receptive to this information. A lot of the times we think we're scared of bringing this information to our teenagers because we think they might think we're crazy or perhaps even lose respect for us. But if they're starseeds, they will have the capacity to understand, this information. I think they're ready. I mean, give it a try.
God, the last time I started on that, my son just gave me that look. He kind of turned away, and it was like, like talking to a wall. Now, I probably was rebellious like that too, if you tried to tell me what to do. But I also think we can create an environment for them around us. So when your kids come back to your house, Victoria, that house of yours already is high frequency, and even create higher for when they show up. So any other suggestions? And can you show that supplement again? Because we got some questions on what that supplement is. Who puts that out? Folium. Folium.
It's a private company. This is a product that the what is it called? The American Medical Association and the pharmaceutical companies don't want people to know about, because this stuff literally cures everything: cancer, tumors. It's the ultimate antioxidant. And if you take, you're only supposed to take 2 capsules a day. But for those that have cancer or tumors, they have to take 6 capsules a day. They increase the dosage, and then within 30 days, it's gone. It's gone. It cleans the body from all toxins, all metals. That's what they call it, the ultimate super antioxidant. Wait, hold on. This is the other one right here. There's 2 of them. This one's called Folium PX. So they say it's best to take this one first, which is Folium. Wait, hold on.
Got it. Folium.
Folium immunity, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And then after you take this one for a month, then you take this one for optimal health. And this will also strengthen your immune system. You don't need vitamin C anymore. I mean, this stuff is like everything. This stuff will keep your body fortified and impenetrable, to
So
the nanotechnology.
we can sneak it into our kids.
Yeah, I would take a couple capsules, and then I think the best way to absorb it is by putting it in their water and just mixing it. And say it's orange juice, right? Put a little bit of orange juice in it. It looks like turmeric. When you guys open up the capsule, it actually looks like turmeric. See? Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. It sort of sounds like the eye pill, that was banned on steroids. You know what I'm
I
saying?
never
That
heard of that one.
ivermectin on steroids
Oh, okay.
is what it sort of sounds like to me, because I kind of think that with that you can start to break up the metallic shards that are coming in the graphene oxide.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great, and it's one pill, like one supplement. You're
Two
saying
pills a day. Yeah, that's all you need. 2 pills a day. The stuff is very concentrated, very potent. And again, for many years, the pharmaceutical companies and the American Medical Association were trying to suppress this. But the guy in the last 6 months was able to get his product out. And the only way to get it is by, going online and getting it directly from him, because he's the only one that makes it.
Okay, we appreciate it. So I know that you're pretty expert on the AI infiltration here, and Victoria and I only have, certain ideas. So I'm curious if we've left out anything that's really important in breaking free from the matrix.
Well, we already are. The work that we've been doing has been very detrimental to the AI takeover of our planet. The more we bring information, the more we plant seeds, the more we get people to pretty much undo their programming, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're helping people undo the programming. Um, the AI loses more and more power. The AI only has power when people are apathetic, when people are in ignorance, and when people have no clue of what's going on, and they're just like following the herd, because that's what they're doing. We're literally living in the Matrix. I mean, when you watch the movie The Matrix, that's a documentary, guys.
Right.
One of the things that the AI does in many worlds, not just in this one, is they feed off of our life force. So they are literally using us, the life force of our planet and our species, as a life force where they power up their cities in another parallel reality, parallel universe. They take that energy and they suck it out of us in order to power up their systems. And so that's really what's been going on for many millions and millions of years.
And I think we're just waking up to it now.
Yes, we are.
In that sense. And it suddenly seems so intense. I feel like I didn't even know any of this existed. And then suddenly it does, kind of crept up on me.
Yeah, you know what I was shown about 10 years ago, Ismael, and thank you for this confirmation. What I was shown is that they actually they don't feed off our light. Our light is too powerful for them. They actually all of their equipment technologies are run by fear. And
Yes.
That's why they do everything they can to terrorize us. I mean, it's interesting that Terra, which is one of the names for this planet, is the root word of terrorize. And they do whatever they can to keep us in a constant state of terror, because they use that energy to fuel all of their technology.
Absolutely.
When we pull ourselves out of fear and refuse to allow ourselves to even go into that vibration, they don't have anything to siphon.
Exactly.
Right.
We break their technology by remembering the love and the light that we are.
You just nailed it, Victoria.
Right.
You just nailed it.
You did. And reminding people of who they are and why they're here, and understanding that, because they deliberately took out people who were light workers, people who came here with a plan and a mission to really help wake up humanity. Those were like the first ones attacked, I think, and kind of quarantined in a certain way. Because I see it in the community, the Conscious Life Expo community, and all the people I work with, it's still divided. Whereas if we were one force, united, we'd even be further ahead in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the division came as an infiltration by the dark dark side as well. So that's why there's been a huge dividing even in the disclosure community.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's huge and it's very divisive and it's torn people apart and it's been very destructive to the awakening process, I think, in coming together. It's as if they knew what we came here for, what each and every one of us came here for, and they found a way to just hack you from the very beginning, so that you wouldn't even get this far.
Mm-hmm.
So this is great to start to awaken people. I wonder if I could take that folium and sprinkle it around the planet here or around my computer to protect.
Yes.
So I know that I want to remind everyone you're coming to the Conscious Life Expo.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have other live presentations that you're offering, or is it like the expo is like your big entry?
Well, following the expo, I'm also going to be speaking at a conference in Mount Shasta in June of next year.
Is that Rob Potter's conference?
Yeah, Rob Potter. You know Rob Potter?
Of course I know Rob Potter.
I guess he's well known, right? It's a small world.
Yeah. I know he's doing it. The conference was Angels and ETs, and I thought, oh my God, I wish I was there. Yeah, I know Rob. So that's great. So you're going to be live in two places, the Conscious Life Expo and in Rob Potter. I'm
Correct.
really happy that you're going to be with us there. You're also in a panel with Deborah Giusti, I think, on consciousness.
I'm going to be in a panel.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
What else did they book me for?
You know what? It was the key. I
Oh.
felt that getting you into the Conscious Life Expo was really important, and I'm really happy that you're open to whatever comes, okay?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, guys. Conscious Life Expo is one of those great things to see. Well, I feel like you've given us a lot of answers to what we're seeking, which are also inside of us, but I feel like, these are some clues on how we can protect ourselves. Victoria, do you have any other questions?
No, actually, this is really good. I'm looking forward to the Conscious Life Expo. So for those of you who don't know what this is an expo that's been going on for like 30 years, 35 years. And many of us in the spiritual community have been attending it for years. And to piggyback a little bit on what you were saying, Joan, yes, the spiritual community was intentionally attacked because the dark side knows that if we unify, if we the people unify with we're the ones we've been waiting for, it's the end of the game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Right, game over. So they went in and strategically attacked the spiritual community and split the spiritual community in half. And so what's really fun, Joan, is that you got involved with coordinating Conscious Life Expo this year.
Right.
And the truther community is infiltrating the spiritual community in a sense and hoping to hopefully wake more of these people back up so we can come into this beautiful unified space. I've been calling this bridging the divide for the last couple of years. We have got to bridge the divide between the spiritual community and the truther community because we all speak the same language. Mm-hmm. We all talk about New Earth. We all talk about the love for humanity. We all talk about this love-based fifth dimensional reality. We're all speaking the same things. We all want the same things. It's just that this division was intentionally created so that we wouldn't unify. And we've got to stop seeing each other as the enemy. And we need to bring our hearts together and unify. And for me, it feels like Conscious Life Expo is one of those bridging the divide events. And I think a lot of the people in the spiritual community are going to be, in a word that my kids use, they're going to be shook.
Well, this time they will be because we've brought in a lot of people that weren't allowed there before because of their controversial views. And I suppose you're right in the fence in a certain way, Ismael, on that too. And Victoria, not in the fence, your philosophy, but in the middle. And we're brought in because we are awake. So there's a whole tribe of awake coming through to that conference. Ismael, this has been wonderful. Let everyone know where they can find you. I know you have a new book coming out. So let everyone know that, if you don't mind.
Sure. So I actually have a website now. It's called ourcosmicorigin.com. And you could find all my links on my website, my classes, which is under themysticarts.org. I still have openings for February. My book is available on Amazon, Our Cosmic Origin. Many are saying it's the most revealing book of the century because of the dense information regarding the cosmos. And I just came back from a book tour trip, but I'm going to continue next March to, go to the different states that I couldn't reach in the last trip. So I do have a second edition that is going to be released before the end of the year with an added chapter that is going to segue into the next volume, which is Gods Among Us. And that book is going to be re-edited, and of course, with a new chapter. So that's what's going to be coming out at the end of this year. But as far as like the next volume, it's probably going to take me a year or two. I'm still working on that.
Beautiful,
And then
beautiful.
for those that are on Instagram, I'm very active there. I'm constantly posting reminders, updates as to what's going on in the galactic community. That's under Project Restoration Zion 1. One word, Project Restoration Zion 1.
And the key for people to know that they have found you is that how many subscribers now do you have on your Instagram?
I think like 58,000.
So guys, if you don't see 58,000 followers, you know that you have found one of those accounts that are going to offer you a reading within
Oh yes,
hours.
be aware of those fake imposters, guys. They're getting on my nerves. As I have everybody report. I have at least 50 to 100 people report the accounts, and it seems like Instagram just they don't like to bring those down.
No, they don't. They don't like taking it down. But the truth is if someone asks you for a reading, you know it's not Ismael.
Yes, I don't do readings. I'm not a medium. I don't claim to be a psychic. I don't take donations or none of that.
Quick question. How did you get into all of this then? Like the short version, like in a sense. Like how did you just wake up so quickly?
Ever since I was a kid, I've always felt different. I've always felt like I wasn't from this planet. So I've always been very fascinated by the supernatural, and so or in magic and aliens. And so as a young kid, I just would study. I would read a lot of material regarding the supernatural and aliens, and so I've always been like a geek in that aspect where I love information. I love to absorb it like a sponge. So that's how I started, But at the same time, when I started practicing Kriya Kundalini Yoga, I had an awakening that took place when I was like 20, 21. And then that's when I started downloading or getting downloads from my higher self or future self.
I just love what you've been doing. It seems like you're just exploding onto the consciousness scene with some really valuable information on breaking free from not just the matrix, but waking up to the world around us. So we really appreciate your time, for sure.
Thank you, Joan of Angels. I appreciate your time as well.
And I look forward to seeing you at the expo. I'm really excited, and it's coming up.
2 more months.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. And
Is
if you
Victoria going to be there as well?
is who?
Victoria going to be there as well?
Yes, she has a table.
Yes. Yeah, I also have a booth for all of my books. My daughter is going to be womaning the booth for me. She and I actually just published our first book together. I think it's helping to bridge that divide that she and I have had the last couple of years. And I'm also going to be speaking as well.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see you guys there.
Yeah, and I'm speaking, by the way, guys, as well. I'm doing a workshop on listening to your intuition and your gut. All right. Well, Ismael, I know you're busy. I just so appreciate you said yes to this. This is a different kind of topic for you, I know, but so really important to those of us who love people, right? With a mission to free humanity. So thank you.
It's an honor to serve. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye for now. All right. Victoria, that was amazing. You feel like you got your questions answered? Because I do.
I think that the the secret potion, if you will, is really helpful. I think I could if I just tell my kids it's vitamins, they'll take it.
Oh, well, that's great. That is great. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to order some and have it sent to your house so you can bring it down here.
Great idea.
Okay. So that you can bring it down. So when Christmas, we can start taking it. So guys, we are just really grateful for all of you. I'm just going to look. The name of that supplement again is Folium, which was Folium, Folium Immunize. Folium Immunize. So guys, I'm hoping all of you take it. I think that we're going to take it for sure. Victoria and I experiment with everything. And
We do.
I think this is great, Victoria, because we took our initial dive into that book about the Illuminati and the massive brain, mind control programs. And now we're looking at solutions that are for the freeing of humanity. So Joan of Arc is very happy,
Yes.
right?
And I'm afraid of happy. I mean, this is what we came here for.
Right.
We came here to because it's not just you and I. Obviously, there's an entire army of angels that are here to liberate humanity from this old fear-based reality so that we can, no one gets left behind. We all get to move into this new reality that's based in love. And you and I were seeing this years ago. And it's really amazing to see it now beginning to manifest. And so many people are waking up and looking, how then do we create this new reality?
Right.
What is this like? How do we escape this old fear-based reality? How do we move into this? And so, and I think for all of us, it's about listening to what our inner guide, because every single one of us has an inner guide. You teach the intuition, I teach it as an inner counselor, but we all have this inner guide that if we'll just shut up and listen, right?
Well, that's a good way. Shut up and listen, and also surround yourself with people that really are waking up with you. I think that, having you, Victoria, having a friend who I can call and say, oh my God, look what I've just discovered is really important. Guys, we can't give up. The truth is just like Ismael says, we are on the verge of huge, massive breakthroughs because they've already happened in the etheric levels. Right. So we just bring them down here. All right. So guys, we are so happy to see you all. Victoria and I have a show that's starting in January, right? Mm-hmm. What is the name of our show?
It's called The Higher View. So I started getting this guidance a few years ago to create a show called The Higher View as a kind of like a spiritual response to The View. So I see The View. Those women are just, I'll
no comment. No.
So this is taking the same idea of current events, but seeing current events from a higher perspective. So each one of us, there are 5 of us. We are co-hosts. It's not my show. It's not Joan's show. It is The Higher View. There are 5 co-hosts, and we're going to be tackling current events from a higher perspective and also bringing in guests and having conversations with our guests from a higher perspective. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. These women, when we all get together, it's like The View. We have banter, but our banter is completely different from The View's banter.
Well, first of all, we all love each other and we're awake. And so we have a different kind of perspective to everything. All right, Victoria, my dear friend, how can people reach you? Madam Elohim of Freedom.
I'm easy. It's just VictoriaReynolds.com.
She's easy. And guys, I am really working with the Joan of Arc frequency and really stepping into this freeing of humanity with Victoria. In a sense, that's what we are doing. You can find me at joanofangels.com. And if you like the show, please like, subscribe, and share, and join us next time. And take your folium. Let's do it together. The more people that are actually free of this archon energy, the higher the vibratory frequency is going to be. So, you know how they say do it for everyone else, not just for yourself? I think in this case, it's a good thing to apply, right?
That's right.
Right. Let's do it for all of us. So thank you so much, everyone. We will see you all next time, and share it out with your friends. I think this is an important topic. So thank you for being with us. Oh, I love these people.